just leaked our Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra benchmarks, and I think it might surpass iPhone 16 Pro Max. We still have a few months to go until we will get the next generation Galaxy smartphone in hand. Still, we have less than a month until the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 processor, which the chipmaker will unveil at the Snapdragon Summit in October, will be revealed. Over on X, tipster Tarun Vats said that the S25 Ultra was spotted on Geekbench with Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 processor and will come with 12 gigs of RAM. Usually reporting on smartphones arriving in India, Vats is in a field where the Galaxy S25 may find a Dimensity or Exynos processor in the upcoming Galaxy phones instead of a Qualcomm SoC. Vats did remark in a response, however, that the S25 Ultra would include the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 CPU everywhere. We can observe that the S25 Ultra scored a single-core score of 3069 on Geekbench and a multi-core score of 9080. It's a little less what Qualcomm chip purportedly achieved with the incoming OnePlus 13 earlier in the month. That Geekbench test has a score of 3236 and 10049. The listing also disclosed the CPU would feature 2 cores clocked at 4.2 GHz and 6 more operating at up to 2.9 GHz, which is a huge boost over the predecessor. The single-core and multi-core scores are roughly 30% greater than they were on the Qualcomm-powered Galaxy S24 Ultra. We also obtain a confirmation of the new architecture, 2+6, previously seen in an overclocked Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 variant with doubtful results. Comparing the two single tests, we would note that it looks the clock speed was throttled down for the S25 Ultra, while the OnePlus 13 appears to have been done at a greater speed, which might affect findings. The SM938U model number suggests this version will be available in the United States. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is listed with Android 15 and 12 gigs RAM, which were to be anticipated. However, we could also see 16 gigs models. We're also interested whether the tested S25 Ultra was running One UI 7 or the current 6.1.1, particularly given the 7th iteration of Samsung's One UI OS overlay has routinely suffered delays. If sources are to be believed, however, One UI 7 should be a huge update for Samsung's version of Android. In our iPhone 16 Pro benchmark tests, the newest Apple flagship scored a single-core score of 3386 in Geekbench, which is higher than both the OnePlus 13 and the S25 Ultra. However, the multi-core score was lower, achieving 8306. If this test is to be trusted, however, the new benchmark scores are approximately 800 points higher than the S24 Ultra in both categories. As usual, the leaked test is a single benchmark for a phone and a chipset that have yet to debut in public or even at a media event. We can't tell that the test is accurate or whether the phone it was performed on was meant for release. We'll only know for sure until we can put both the S25 Ultra and the OnePlus 13 through the testing procedure to establish how accurate these figures genuinely are. As for the battery, when it comes to battery life, we're not sure how Samsung could cram in a larger power pack than the 5000 mAh cell in the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Since the smartphone scored on our top phone battery life list with a 16-hour, 45-minute result on our battery test, we're not exactly concerned about Galaxy S25 Ultra battery life. However, speculations say that the same 5000 mAh battery will be in place with the S25 Ultra, and the same 45-watt charging speed too. But battery life might still increase because to greater GPU efficiency. The battery may be increasing bigger in order to cater for the power demand of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 CPU, another source has said. So even if the capacity does rise, we may not see any change in real battery life due to the chipset's demands. Android 15 is already available, so anticipate the Galaxy S25 Ultra to come with that version already in place. We'd think the Galaxy S25 phones would get the same 7 years of software support that the Galaxy S24 gets. Another assumption of ours: the Galaxy S25 Ultra will bring additional Galaxy AI functions similar to the ones that debuted with the S24 series. There's no news on what those features will be or if any will be labeled as exclusives for the higher-end Ultra. With the Galaxy S24, the same Galaxy A functions were supported by all three models. Thus, the entry-level S24 can pull off the same tasks as the premium Ultra. We've been pampered this year with some of the greatest AI-powered camera phones entering the market, but it has left many creatives, myself included, wondering what might possibly come next. With excellent cameras, AI to help us plan our hectic lives, write our emails, and live translate our phone conversations, what more do we want or need from our smartphones? When it comes to the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, expected for an early 2025 release, many pundits are very unclear about what the S25 Ultra will be and if it will give more of the same or push us to new heights. Recent rumors have hinted that the upcoming device, codenamed Paradigm, might see a huge shift in emphasis, with clues of considerable improvements being made to the handset performance. Alternatively, Android headlines speculates that we'll only see a small boost in camera quality next year, which it doesn't necessarily require in my view, largely with changes to its ultra-wide lens. According to Galaxy Club, the S25 Ultra will retain an unaltered 12 megapixels sensor on its front camera, with the same 50 megapixels primary camera resolution, and no enhancements to battery life. Is this because the S24 Ultra was already so impressive? If it isn't broke, don't repair it, I guess. The S25 Ultra is also believed to have a similar exterior appearance as the S24 Ultra model, but with rounder edges, and might possibly offer updated health and monitoring functions for those who buy the Samsung Galaxy Ring. Reliable tipster Ice Universe has revealed photographs of what is apparently an S25 Ultra phone cover via X, and it sure seems more rounded in its shape. The outlines of the camera unit on the case tell us that we can expect a very similar camera layout with the S25 Ultra, if this tip is reliable, of course, with some speculation that the cameras could be larger or with a much bolder ring like the Samsung Z Flip 6 has, although it could be way too early to tell. It's more probable that any change worthy of a Paradigm branding will be located within the case. There is a persistent weapons race across several fronts. The quality and functionality of the camera systems have increased in the Galaxy S year on year, as it has nearly throughout the industry. Screen technology is continually bettering itself. Chipsets are expanding according to Moore's law, and each year, the new phone is better than the previous year. While a transition might happen in hardware, it's more probable any paradigm shift in hardware would arrive in the summer months via one of Samsung's Galaxy Z foldable phones. The second alternative would be to have a change in the software. January 2024 saw Samsung unveil Galaxy AI. Thanks to the magnitude of the Galaxy user base, and Samsung guaranteeing that the software suite remained backwards compatible across numerous phones in the Galaxy S and Galaxy S series, Galaxy AI is one of the largest AI suites for smartphones. Google debuted its second generation of smartphone AI with the Pixel 9 series in August. Samsung making a huge stride forward in 2025 with new and better features might be considered as a paradigm-shifting event. To pick just one such sector, consider Samsung's current emphasis on health and wellness. Increasing the use of AI to gather health data from a variety of new accessories, and then delivering improved analysis and recommendations might be hailed as a paradigm-shifting event, depending on how far Samsung pushes the boundaries. With 4 months to go till launch, additional information about Samsung's flagship smartphone are going to come into clarity, and the paradigm will make itself evident. Next, Samsung supporters are looking for a better resolution sensor with the next flagship, which might well be achievable, and increased video quality that could challenge the 4K 120 FPS recording capabilities of the new iPhone 16 Pro. As a photographer, the key thing I want from my camera phone is the capacity to record high-quality footage mixed with the freedom to distribute it on social channels as I want. With this in mind, I believe my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra already does this brilliantly and checks a number of boxes, with Galaxy AI power to aid with organizing, plus the fantastic camera unit for photographing life on the move. I'd also enjoy additional ALE software solutions to assist me maintain that work/life balance. A camera quality upgrade isn't a high priority, but would be a great addition. If there's ever a big event or a photo session I'm attending, I will always turn to my Sony A7 IA mirrorless camera to get the job done, instead of my Samsung S24 Ultra, so I'm never expecting perfection with my phone camera. But with that stated, I'm extremely satisfied with my current camera phone, and I believe the boundaries are starting to blur between professional-level photography and smartphone content production. Whether you possess one of the greatest iPhones for photography or a more affordable camera phone, the quality of current smartphones is fairly incredible now. So I'm curious to see what Samsung has up its sleeve with the arrival of the Galaxy S25 series early next year. Finally, as for the costs, it's way too early in the rumor cycle for the Galaxy S25 Ultra to state precisely when the new phone will come. Outside of an early 2025 release timeframe for the Galaxy S25, your estimate is as good as ours. That said, in previous years, Samsung has been steadily moving earlier the release date for the Galaxy S series, which used to debut in the February or March time period. This year's Galaxy S24 release was the earliest ever, with a Galaxy Unpacked event taking place on January 17, and the S24 models releasing 2 weeks later on January 31. If Samsung pushes forward the Galaxy S25 Ultra release date any sooner, the launch event will conflict with CES 2025, an event when Samsung generally concentrates on its TV and smart home devices. So we think that at the earliest, we're looking at another mid-January Galaxy Unpacked presentation concentrating on Samsung's new phones. Samsung hiked the price of the Galaxy S24 Ultra to start the year, asking $1,299 for the phone after the Galaxy S23 Ultra had cost $1,199. T-Hat would appear to prevent a price boost for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but the cost premium phones is on the rise. Indeed, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo claims that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 slated to power the Galaxy S25 Ultra might push up the cost of the phone. It's still early, however, so we'll definitely hear more price speculations as we approach closer to the end of 2024. Though it may be early for you and I to be thinking about the Galaxy S25 Ultra, it's a fair bet Samsung has already put a lot of effort into what goes into its next smartphone. Now that the iPhone 16 has launched, and that our iPhone 16 Pro Max versus Galaxy S24 Ultra face-off provided a comprehensive victory for Apple, the stakes have never been greater for Samsung's next phone. We should find out more about such efforts over the remainder of this year, as we draw closer to the S25 Ultra's 2025 debut date. So let us know what you think in the comments section. As always, see you tomorrow. Peace out.